Yes, that's right. What you've just read isn't clickbait, folks. This video really is us saying goodbye for a while. And honestly, probably a long while if we're being completely honest with you. Now, granted, there may be some amongst you who are absolutely jumping for joy at this news, saying, yes, another channel using an AI voiceover is shutting down, the platform is healing. Don't worry, we've accepted that those people do exist. And yes, while we do use AI for Guy's voice, there are very specific reasons for us doing so, which we're going to touch on in just a moment. But before we get into any of that, we want to make something very clear. This isn't a video we ever thought we'd make, and it certainly isn't one we wanted to make until recently, but unfortunately, here we are. So let's address the simple question, why? Why now all of a sudden? And that's a very good question. You see, we've been working on this channel for 10 years now, and throughout those 10 years, especially if you've watched any of our AI-dubbed content featuring our little animated amigo Guy, you've probably realized something about us. We're not exactly what you'd call a, quote, normal individual. And if you watch our videos, firstly, thank you. Seriously, thank you. But secondly, there's a question we get surprisingly often and for good reason. Why do you always say we instead of I? Well, folks, that's because we have DID. For those of you unfamiliar with the abbreviation, allow us to give you the simple explanation we were given all those years ago. You see, DID stands for Dissociative Identity Disorder. And, in our experience, the easiest way we can describe it is that parts of our brain have essentially separated from one another and, as a result, formed their own identities. For us particularly, the dissociative part also means that when somebody else is out, we don't remember where we've been, or what we've done, or what's happened during that time. You get the point. And, by the way, before somebody rushes to the comments section with a 17-page thesis, we're just explaining this the way it was explained to us and how we personally experience it. So go easy on us, huh? Now, on top of all that, we also suffer from some pretty aggressive seizures, sometimes multiple times a day. And most of the time afterwards, we feel like we've just gone 10 rounds with a silverback gorilla, while also losing anything up to a week's worth of memories. Think of it like having some kind of weird biological etch-a-sketch for a brain that occasionally decides to grab itself, shake vigorously, and wipes the screen. So, as you can probably imagine, those two things in conjunction make content creation interesting, very interesting in fact. But believe it or not, that isn't why we're hanging up our glasses. Although, admittedly, stepping away will probably help us enormously on that front, especially when you consider just how much actually goes into making these videos behind the scenes. No. The real reason we're saying goodbye is something else entirely. You see, the real reason we're finally calling it quits is actually YouTube itself, and the changes the platform has made over the years that, for us, have made the goal we've been chasing feel practically impossible. That goal? 1,000 subscribers. Now, we know there are probably some people who heard that and immediately thought, oh, so their low-effort AI slop couldn't make them money and now they're quitting. And to that, we'd like to say, firstly, low effort? You have no idea. The amount of work that goes on behind the scenes of this channel, it definitely more than we should be putting into it. We're talking late nights, pages upon pages of notes for builds, challenges, and video ideas, hours and hours of editing, writing scripts, recording footage, making thumbnails, researching, trying to make all of this somewhat entertaining while working around the limitations of an AI voice, alongside everything else we've already talked about. So no, this was never about money. Because here's the funny thing, we did the research. And based on our own numbers and the lowest estimates we could find, even if this channel were monetized tomorrow and just scraped by the minimum requirements every month, we'd potentially be looking at something like 50 quid over an entire year. That's it, 50 quid. Now don't get us wrong, 50 quid is a lot of money when you haven't got it, and we understand that better than most. But we're certainly not spending hundreds, if not thousands, of hours doing this because we think there's a massive payday waiting for us at the end. The point was never the money. It wasn't fame either. The point was reaching that number, 1,000. Because we wanted to be able to look at that number one day and say, you know what? With all our problems, with all our flaws, with everything that's been thrown at us, we fucking did it. That was the reward. It was a goal we'd set for ourselves. Something that told us, don't give up. Keep going. Keep pushing. Even when things get difficult, keep moving forward. And we did. For 10 years, we did. But there's only so long you can keep pushing against something before eventually it takes its toll. And for us, it's taken its toll. Trust us when we say this decision wasn't made overnight. This isn't us having one bad week on YouTube, throwing our toys out of the pram and saying, that's it, we quit. This decision comes from 10 years of trying, 10 years of uploading, 10 years of learning, 10 years of changing things, 10 years of getting things wrong, picking ourselves back up and trying again. And ultimately, 10 years of repeatedly failing to achieve this one stupid little goal that somehow meant the absolute world to us, all while feeling like the platform underneath us keeps changing, and the finish line just keeps getting further and further away. At some point, you have to ask yourself, how long do we keep doing this to ourselves? And unfortunately, we've finally reached our answer. A person can only take so much before, eventually, they become indifferent. And indifference? Indifference is just death wearing another mask. Because the moment we started becoming indifferent to the content we were making, indifferent to that goal we'd set for ourselves all those years ago, it robbed us of the one thing that all of this has always given us: joy. Every challenge we've ever done, every stupid idea we've ever had, every video we've stayed up until some ungodly hour editing, every piece of content we've made, regardless of how shit some of it was, and trust us, some of it was shit. It always gave us joy. And that's what kept us coming back. Because if you're trying to do YouTube without joy, you've already lost. It doesn't matter how many views you're getting. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you've got. It doesn't matter what the algorithm thinks of you. If you open that editor, look at the thing you're creating, and feel absolutely nothing, you've already lost. And you've already failed. And, ladies and gentlemen, about a week ago, we woke up, and for the first time in 10 years, we didn't feel angry, we weren't disappointed, we weren't frustrated that another video hadn't performed how we'd hoped. We just didn't care. And that scared us more than any disappointing view count ever could, because we knew what it meant. After 10 years of refusing to give up, 10 years of telling ourselves to keep going, 10 years of believing we'd eventually get there, we'd finally become indifferent. And that's when we knew we'd failed. And that's exactly why we're choosing to hang up our glasses now. Before that indifference has a chance to seep into the things we make. Before making videos becomes an obligation. Before something that has brought us so much joy for the last 10 years becomes something we resent. Because if this really is where the story ends, then at the very least we can look back at everything on this channel and say, we made it with joy. Every video, every challenge, every terrible joke, every completely unnecessary amount of effort we put into something that probably got 12 views. We did it because we wanted to, and we'd rather stop now and preserve that than keep going until we can't say it anymore. So, as of this moment in the video, all ongoing series on the channel are officially suspended, not canceled, just put to sleep for a while. And as for us, we're going to be taking a break for the foreseeable future. How long will that be? We genuinely don't know. Maybe we'll wake up one morning and that spark will be back. Maybe it'll take months. Maybe it'll take years. Or maybe this really is goodbye. We don't want to make promises to you or ourselves that we don't know if we can keep. What we do know is that for now, we need to go and rediscover what it feels like to create something without numbers attached to it. No views, no subscribers, no algorithm, no analytics, just making something because it sounds fun. And luckily for us, we have a plan. During our break, we're going to be diving headfirst into some model creation and customization with our 3D printer. Because apparently our idea of taking a break is immediately giving ourselves another ridiculously complicated project. And the mission? To create the most badass Warhammer 40K salamander we possibly can. Printing, customizing, modeling, and probably spending a completely unreasonable amount of time obsessing over details that nobody else will ever notice. You know, the usual. But more importantly, we're going back to where all of this started for us. Long before worrying about subscribers. Long before algorithms. Long before YouTube. Our first love, painting. And right now, that sounds pretty damn good. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we say goodbye for the final time, no. Actually, this isn't goodbye. Let's not call it that. This is more of a see you later. So, folks, before we say see you later, there's one last thing we need to say. To all 318 of you absolutely beautiful people who decided for whatever reason to hit that little subscribe button and come along for this ridiculous journey with us. Thank you. Truly. Thank you. You gave us hope when we didn't have much of it ourselves. You gave us motivation when ours was running on empty. And most importantly, you gave us something to work towards. Something to chase. A reason to keep opening that editor and thinking, right, what stupid shit are we doing this week? We might not have reached the 1,000 subscribers that we aimed for all those years ago, but we reached 318 of you. 318 actual people who looked at something we created and decided, yeah, I'd like to see more of that. And when you really stop and think about it, that's pretty fucking incredible. So please know that whether you've been here for years, whether you found us through Wuthering Waves, whether you watched our old Nio content, or whether you subscribed after one video and then completely forgot we existed, which honestly is fair. We're grateful you are here with us. It's genuinely been a pleasure having every single one of you aboard. And wherever life takes all of us from here, we wish you nothing but the absolute best. For today, for tomorrow, and for whatever comes after that. As for us, we're going to put down the keyboard, turn off the analytics, hang up these glasses, and go paint a big-ass space marine. And maybe, somewhere down the road, we'll find that spark again. Maybe we'll dust off the glasses. Maybe Guy will have something stupid to say, and maybe we'll see all of you here again. But until that day comes, from all of us, to all of you, thank you for the past 10 years. Take good care of yourselves. Look after each other. And, for the final time, always remember to take care, stay safe, and one day, we may see you all again in the next one. Thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of the run.
will allow me to research new technology. This was the outcome I hoped for. Let's raise the difficulty a little this time.
You